The arm can move up.
ShinRobjira.
Meet Berry Surprise Godzilla 1954 will be standing at slightly over 6 inches tall. Ever so slightly.
Paint and detail-wise, I'm going to be up front with all of y'all. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to say without fangirling entirely. Because this figure is beautiful, is fantastic, looks like a properly cooked meatloaf. So first off, Godzilla's dorsal fins. Instead of being white, they take on more of a dirtied bone color with a little bit of brown at the center of all of them, and I really can't complain with how beautifully they're done up here. The paint is beautifully done, the detailing is perfectly communicated. I mean, just, oh my God, I'm getting a raging clue. Dorsal fins are probably one of my favorite places to look when it comes to looking at a Godzilla figure, and damn me to the bowels of hell and suck the air from my blackened lungs, but S.H.MonsterArts does it like no other. I especially love that this little row of dorsal fins over here is actually hovering over this part of the tail, and we're gonna get a little bit of a divot in there to allow for more poseability. Good forethought there, S.H.MonsterArts. And then, moving throughout the rest of the tail, we do get some scuffs here and there, probably from the kind of packaging that it was put inside, which is a little upsetting because his tail was wrapped in a whole condom. But the coloration, the detailing, the paint all the way to the tip of the tail mostly, I love it, and I couldn't complain about a single thing, even if I tried. Unless I became one of those overly bitchy vegans that doesn't like anything looking like a cooked piece of meat. In which case, S.H.MonsterArts, I demand you release this in green. Many shades of green. I know Neko already did it, let me have this. The toes will be this nice shade of fungal infection yellow, looking more like a disease than anything else. The claws look great, and then we move into the teeth. The teeth, for the most part, I feel are beautifully, beautifully done. I can't believe they look as good as they do. I mean, damn! Yeah, they're not perfect, but look at how small these teeth are compared to my pinky. Very small. The only large-sized befuddlements that'll be befuddling these teeth will be the frontal fangs over here. They do have a case of bleed through. I mean, there's like little dabs of red on them. I haven't really gone in and tried to correct the matter because normally when I try and go in and correct something, I ruin it. Hence why I am divorced. Oh yeah, this tooth over here is gonna have that as well. Huh. But I'll be real. This is the only point on the figure where I have like some semblance of a complaint. So yeah, it sucks, but I ain't taking points off for this. And then on the inside of the mouth, we are going to get a plump blood red tongue with a bit of red on his goji lips. And it just looks fantastic. Oh, the roof of the mouth will see some detail and some gloss as well. And I positively love that the gloss really only shows up a bit on the eyes and more so on the teeth and mouth, while everything else is a very matte finish, just making the overall presentation seem and feel mwah. Last little bit to talk about, I mean, the skin is bumpy and textured. It looks and feels amazing. Yes, it feels amazing. But I gotta talk about all the different shades of brown that are gonna be gracing the skin of this figure, because it's not just a singular shade. There are highlights of lighter browns, darker browns, different colored browns, which is essentially what I just said. I don't know, I'm talking all weird today. I love that we have so much going into this, and it just makes that new Movie Monster series release all the more obsolete. Why wasn't it this? But details all across the figure's body, all of it is going to be highlighted by all of these different shades of brown, and I cannot get enough of it. From a dark chocolatey shade to a lighter milk chocolatier shade, this thing, I mean, it might get you hungry for some Christmas candy, but other than that, oh, oofa. And yes, both of the eyes will be peering down. Yes, it looks hilarious from the front, but this is intentional. This is not a mistake. And when looking at the figure from a low angle, you can see that Shin Godzilla got it from his papa. Godzilla looking down at the civilization he is destroying simply by existing is such a thing. It is such a vibe. and I wish more figures would do something like this. That'll be it for Paint and Detail. 2 solid stars accessories very quickly. Conjunctivitis will come with included accessories, starting with the 70th anniversary base, which can be used as a base for a stand. Love this, love that little decal, part of the reason why I wanted it. A standard Tamashii arm and base, an alternate Gucci gripper hand over here, which doesn't really Gucci grip much of anything, but the detail on it is sublime, yes. An alternate hand made specifically for holding one of the 2 included jet fighter plane accessories. That other fighter jet accessory I just mentioned, and look at that detail. Tiny, no paint needed, looking lovely, nice and silver. I dig it. Oh boy, an Onahole plane. A tiny little stand, which already has stress marks on it to hold the other jet on a stand arm, can be applied like oh god, Italian sausage fingers. There we go. Yeah. Very nice. And probably the biggest ask of all, a new heat ray effect piece, and oh, howzers, look at that. I am just infected with praise of how cool this looks from the front. It's like a fireball, but it's a beam. Not the craziest amounts of details, but I love that it starts off molten hot and slowly travels into a deep burning red. And thankfully, application is super duper easy, and the movement is super duper smooth. Solid star for accessory inclusion. The one thing it doesn't come with is another arm stand, so you can have Godzilla firing his heat-radiated thunder smash and have the jet in the air at the same time. Thankfully, both bases are your standard Tamashii bases, except for this one because it's big and cool and all that other stuff. But it will very much be compatible with other arm stands found with Tamashii products, and your hopes and dreams of going over the top, right now it's killing time, with the included accessories is entirely possible here, with just a push for the stand, a pull at the hand, another push at the hand. These things require heat. And a steady hand to line up the heat ray with Godzilla's mouth. And shaboom sharoo, my Goji looks fire, and yours can too. So that's 3 solid stars already. How is this video going to end? I'm sure you already know. But before we get there, size comparisons in box.
Shokugan Toho Kaiju series. SHOWyA translucent Toho Kaiju series.
Bengaichi.
Monster King HG Finger Puppet Minis.
Bro, I love this box. From the recreation of the original poster in color on the front, the shininess, the images on the back, the sides, the top, the bottom. Dude, 3 solid stars. This is such a damn good box. Thank you, Bandai and box designers. Don't give me that look, Goji. I gotta put these greasy Italian fingers all over your body so I can move you. Oh, at the tippity top of the head over here, ball joint. Can look up, can look down, can look side to side. Mouth can open and close. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Another ball joint at this portion of the neck. Another ball joint at this portion of the neck. And another ball joint at the base of the neck. Aiding in conjunctivitis to be able to look down rather far. Yeah, there's a gap present, but as per usual, I'm not really bothered by gaps. There's gotta be at least some gaps to make sure things move smoothly. And he can look up really far. Look at that, my god. And we'll get another bit of a ball joint over here at the base of the neck to aid in those differing movements. Look at that. Yes, smooth. Come on, Goji, let's show him the side to side. Hell yeah. Lovely. Now, if I put a little bit of pressure, yeah, you can move it a bit more, but I don't want to do that. Now, this little gamma quadrant of the torso doesn't really like to move very far. Apparently, this is a very normal thing with this release. I'm a little bummed about it, but it moves, or lack thereof moves, very similar to that of the Shoshin-Geki Goji figure. Shoshin-Geki Goji figure, not Sho. Right. But that's okay, because 3 doors down, we have an ab crunch, and yeah, he likes to come undone. So basically, yeah, you do get an ab crunch, you gotta be careful. Mine likes to pop off. Not something I'm really ready to criticize or anything like that, because it's probably my fault. It came off in the first place during my unboxing, and for the most part, the movement is smooth. Just be careful. I like it. It's nice. You want me to be overly critical? All right. Torso bend, half a star. There you go. My critical acclaim may soon come to an end, though, as we talk about the legs, and you gotta be careful with how you pose this, because as you can see, the paint does receive a bit of a befuddlement due to the waist. Yeah, some of that paint is a bit scratched up, and I will fully admit my fault in that, because it is 100% my fault, and I didn't think twice about it, to be completely honest. But let's be real. If I didn't point it out, did you even notice it? You want me to be honest with y'all? I only just noticed it right now. Anyway, with a flick of the wrist and a little bit of care, you can kick forward about that far. You can kick back rather far. We can move from side to side all the way around. It's really nice. We will also get a bend at the knee, sort of, kind of. It's not a deep bend, but a bend nonetheless. Some swivel action going on in there as well. Look at that meatball jiggle. And we'll get a pivot at the ankle, like so. Look at that broken ankle, and we will also get some swivulation over here as well. Foot can point forward and then point right back up really nicely. Do you doubt the David Schwimmer level pivot we've got going on here? Just wait. Oh yeah, wide and tight. Just like my ass. And now I can gush about this tail superior because look at that lovely curve. Oh, Ferrero Rocher chocolate goji. Arby's might have the meats, but goji, he's got the curves. And just look at that S. It's not the greatest S. It might be a more sleek retrofuturism S, but bro, lovely. Get it going. Look at that. Look at that. Fire. And let's see if we can make Godzilla's tail point to the pain in his elbow. And for the most part, it absolutely can. It's a bit, off kilter, but look, he's pointing towards his pained elbows. And yes, that is me alluding to something, because just like my copy of Shingeki Goji, this guy's elbow is a bit fucking weird. Out of the box, I could barely get his elbow to do that. And when you look at the other arm over here, it's definitely got a tighter bend to it. I don't know if this is like a piece placement issue or whatever, but this is now the second time that an arm on an S.H.MonsterArts figure kind of doesn't complete the race. Like, I don't know what's going on here. I mean, it swivels and turns and everything just fine. It's just, it doesn't complete that bend. And I do have to wonder why. It has gotten better since then, but yeah, it's a little weird. So just like the legs, I do suggest being careful over here at the shoulders, because I feel like the rigidness of the sculpt may cause some paint scuffs to be had. And other than that, I mean, it can complete a full rotation. Wow, no scuffs. What the hell? Still, be careful. I get lucky sometimes. The arm can move up about that far and out about that far. It can go right back in, and it's okay. As demonstrated prior, we can get a bend at the elbow and a bend out. There will be swivular movement over here. Just be careful. There will be another ball joint at the forearm over here, which will aid in giving off that bend, but getting a swivel out of it, nothing crazy. And then there will be a ball joint at the hand, allowing it to go up and down and swivel all the way around. Very nice. I'm just not sure what's good. Oh. Was it the forearm that was stuck? Huh. It might have been the forearm that was stuck. Holy hell. Okay. Well, there you go. Bend at the elbow. Swivel at the forearm. Oh yeah, swivel at the bicep too. Plus wrist movement. Do be careful with these alternate hands. They do like to pop off ever so often. You will need to heat these hands up. Based on my own experiences, the alternate hands can be a bitch to get on, and the original hands can be a bitch to get off. But all that aside, articulation, solid star, poseability now. So my first soiree into SHMA's Godzilla 54 offerings was entirely successful. I really don't have a bad thing to say about this guy in terms of his poseability because it was so much fun. I couldn't get this thing into a pose that made it look not good, that made it look unsatisfactory, that made it look not worth its friggin' shelf price, because it is. From the colors adorning his skin and his dorsal fins to his two planes, alternate hands, really cool 70th anniversary base, and heat ray effect, this Godzilla does not disappoint. Not even close. S.H.MonsterArts, Bandai in general, they churned out another good articulated product this year. One that I'm immensely happy with, and one that might be on my top 15 favorite figures of the year list. Utterly fantastic. I love it, and I love this box. I feel my money was properly spent, and I hope your time has felt properly spent watching me talk about Meatloaf Goji. The second Meatloaf Goji. He looks more like a meatloaf than that other one did. I've been ShinRobjira. Hope you all had a lovely and safe Big Eat day. And when next we meet, Big Mothra Plush, Battle Hiroshima, and then Fujimi Biolante. Big week next week. Bye. From a darker chocolatey shade to a more milk chocolatier shade. Was that a word?